Hello and welcome back, David from Atomic Candy and the presumptuous Miss Lady Pop Hunter trying to cover me up here. I guess I'm so, you know what it is? I'm so beautiful that she doesn't want my radiance to just knock people unconscious.
Yes, Magnum. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God, it's beautiful.
It's kind of like Zoolander, you know? But
Yeah.
anyway, something that I've been getting some questions about, and mostly on Instagram, which Instagram's almost a dead market by itself because I'm struggling with Instagram, but I guess people there are very fickle. But what is going on with the Funko stock? And I've been getting tons of questions about this because you all saw what happened. If any of you were watching this, it hovered at a low point for a while. And we talked about this already. We did a video about this a while back. Why is the stock climbing? But now it's bottoming out again. Now, why was the stock climbing? And there's a few questions about that. There was some speculation. A lot of people thought that it was climbing because they had cut a deal with Fortnite, and it was mentioned in GameStop. Talking about GameStop and GameStop's stock and Fortnite franchise and all that, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know, my point on it was I thought the reason it was going up was because of the propaganda from their so-called documentary, which really was not a documentary at all. It was advertising. It was reaching out to people that were on the fence about Funko, and it worked because if you follow the rise of their stock, it almost coincides with when it went live on Netflix. And so people saw it and said, oh yeah, I want to get in on that. And now maybe those people are starting to realize that maybe they bit off more than they could chew, and they're backing off. Because this is a stock that kind of gradually started building up and then peaked at somewhere under $32. And now within a very sharp curve, within almost a week, lost like 12 bucks. You know, it dropped down to like 19. I'm not sure where it leveled off today. It was like at $19.87 the last time I saw it. I'm like, wow, that's pretty drastic for it to just drop off that quickly. To compound matters, the president, Andrew Perlmutter, is that his name? Andrew Perlmutter, I think?
I don't know how you pronounce that.
On the 17th, today's the 21st, on the 17th, which was Monday, he dumped 55,000 shares of his personal stock in Funko. And that was announced by NASDAQ on the 19th because to them that's a red flag. To people who do this kind of stuff, it's a red flag. 55,000 shares, it's a lot, but it isn't because there's hundreds of thousands of shares spreading around. But a couple of weird things happened on Monday that made watchdog groups and NASDAQ a little nervous.
What happened on Monday?
Well, aside from the fact that he dumped 55,000 personal shares at $20.02 average, and it netted him $1.1 million. But on that day, 1 million, I got this written down here, 1,639,300 shares of Funko stock traded that day. 3 times their average, even from the start.
Oh, wow.
In one day. And they're like, why so much trading on one day suddenly like that? As the stock is coming down, because it was up to 31 and change. It was closing in on $32, and then for a week it starts sliding, and then Monday the market opens up
And it bottoms out.
and instead of, because you know the thing is, once you start trading, when you become an IPO, a public offering like that, they monitor everything.
Yeah.
You don't miss anything. That's how NASDAQ knew he sold 55,000 shares.
Yeah, because they know who sells, because you have to buy it under your name and under your account. and they send you all the information. So
So
they know exactly who's doing what.
they knew that on that day, 1,639,300 shares were openly traded when their average has been 492,398 a day, which is still a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot, but
That's a
that's
lot.
over.
It's
That's
three-
way
more
over
than three
double.
times. It's more than 3 times.
Hmm.
More than it's like 3.25 times their normal trading average.
That's insider trading. That's illegal. You can go to jail for
It
that.
sounds like it. It sounds like it because it sets up red flags because then watchdog groups are like, why suddenly the decision to trade and why are so many trading so heavily? It does not look good when a senior executive of a company, particularly the president or a CEO, sits there and then suddenly starts dumping their own personal stock in a company. 55,000 all at once is a lot.
Yeah.
To just throw out there like that.
And the fiscal year is coming up in October. October 1st starts the new fiscal year for business. So something's happening. So if we watch the next few weeks, you'll be able to tell. Now, I read on it last night because I was wondering. I was like, well, why did this guy do that? And I knew that if you look it up, because all of the stuff is public information. Once you're on the NASDAQ Dow, all of your information, all of your business is just out there for the world to see.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know why, and it said, which I don't believe, that the executives of Funko are getting nervous because Hasbro has the license to Fortnite, and they're going to start making Fortnite Nerf figures and something else. And then they're thinking
Nerf guns.
Yeah, Nerf guns and another figure. I can't remember another branding of
board games.
Oh yeah, Monopoly board games,
which have nothing to do with vinyl figures.
Right, but they said also that they're believing, like within the next few months, Hasbro is going to start making figures, Fortnite figures, and that's not enough to cause you to panic to that degree.
It's not the same kind of figure. That's like sitting there and saying, oh, well, they make Marvel Legends. So, and Marvel Legends are Marvel figures just like we make our Funko Pop Marvel Infinity War or whatever. And oh, God, we're in trouble because now they're making more Marvel Legends. It's people that are going to buy Legends are going to buy Legends. People that are going to buy Pops are going to buy Pops. Yeah. That's like the lamest reason. And I don't think Fortnite is, as popular as the game may be. It's kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's. It'll peak for a little while, and then people will get tired of the merchandising. Or Rick and Morty. We were talking to a guy at GameStop the other day. So I love the Rick and Morty. I love the show, but the franchising is getting stupid. Yeah. And it is. It's too much. It's oversaturated. So yeah, Funko will do the same thing it does with everything else with the Fortnite. They'll put up a half a dozen Pops out. In a few months, they'll put out a half a dozen more. It's predictable. It means nothing. People will go for it or they won't. And one franchise amidst 100 is not going to make or break the company. No. That response makes no sense.
That's not a true response. That's probably the response that Funko gave them.
Yeah.
Meaning NASDAQ. But it's not the truth. I mean, because just like he said, they make a ton of figures. They make Star Wars. Everybody makes Star Wars
Everybody
figures.
Has a Star Wars license.
So you can't say just because another company picked up Star Wars, well, I need to get out of the game altogether. That's just ridiculous.
I mean, they have Star Wars pizza cutters. Have you seen those? No. Star Wars knife and fork sets. Yeah. Come on.
So, that's not good enough to say.
Wonder Woman has a crock pot.
Yeah.
There's a Wonder Woman crock pot. Oh my God, Wonder Woman's making crock pots now? we better just shut down the presses. You know, it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Mhm.
And the fact that a lot of people are under the impression that the stock went up because of rumors about Fortnite and GameStop and all this other stuff doesn't make any sense anyway, especially when you make a comparison to GameStop, because, hate to break your heart, GameStop is a bad stock. GameStop at one time hovered between $60 and $70 a share, and now it lingers around 16.
Mm.
And it's been getting worse ever since they bought out GeekNet, which is ThinkGeek.
Mm-hmm.
They bought out ThinkGeek for $140 million, which ThinkGeek was already hurting. And they took that on, and all that is taking on a burden. It's like when Sears took on Kmart. You don't buy another hurting company to help your stock. It
Yeah.
doesn't work. Sears has been just plummeting
Yeah.
for almost a decade since they bought out Kmart. When did they buy Kmart? Like 2006,
I don't know.
2007, something like that.
Mhm.
Look at a decade's worth of stock trading on Sears, and you'll see them up here right when they bought Kmart, and just a steady decline since then. And this morning they were at $1.29 a share.
Mm.
That is almost ready for bankruptcy,
Yeah.
and it's because they bought Kmart. GameStop bought GeekNet out. Now they're stuck with ThinkGeek, and it's hurting them. Their stock was already hurting. So nothing associated to GameStop is going to be a green flag for anybody who trades in stocks.
Yeah.
Those stocks are already hurting. GameStop is already in trouble. ThinkGeek's in trouble. ThinkGeek's in trouble because they're too expensive.
ThinkGeek
They
is
are very expensive.
I went in there a couple of weeks ago, and their prices was, GameStop is a little higher
Yeah.
than other stores, but ThinkGeek is even higher than that.
It's like, if you're not competitive, you're not going to make any money.
No.
What do you expect? And they come off all high-end and stuff, and then it's like, how much is that?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? Anyway, back to Funko. You got to remember, this is a company that had the worst new IPO opening in its 17 years. They set a new record for a bad opening day, and they're still around $400 million in debt.
Mm.
That's a lot of freaking money. $400 million in debt, and the company's worth roughly $1 billion based on their stock.
Mm-hmm.
So if the stock starts coming down again as it gets closer to their debt ratio, it's going to get worse. And I know people sit there and say, well, a company like that, they operate with a high level of debt. That's to be expected. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is the same argument that was made by people speculating stocks about Toys R Us last year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, they owe $4.2 billion, but the company's worth $8 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And they operate with a high level of debt on their rotation. And when they couldn't come out of that rotation over Christmas, when Walmart and Amazon beat them out, they started backsliding, and it killed them, and they're gone. They get a couple of stores in Canada hanging on, and they're gone. They're ruined.
Mm-hmm.
So they may operate with a high level of debt, but only if they can pay it off. Funko hasn't paid it off yet. They've been owing it. And they've got until, I want to say 2022. I could be wrong. I think it's either 2022 or 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be the game changer. It might be the year 2022,
mm-hmm.
when that contract comes due.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to put up or shut up with the bank. And so either if they can't pay it and the bank doesn't want to extend,
mm-hmm.
they're done. They're done, unless they can sell out. And just being realistic, I think when Brian Mariotti bought out the company from Mike Becker, he kind of bit off more than he could chew. I think that he saw a cash cow, and I've talked about this before, especially after watching the documentary.
Yeah.
I think he saw an opportunity, the original owner. He wanted to get out of the game, and dude was like, yeah, that's a moneymaker. But doesn't really know what he has. Didn't know what he had then. Pops, which is like more than 80% of their business.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about it. It was a mistake in the first place because it was originally the design for Pops. If I remember correctly, it was supposed to be for plushies. And they were like, wouldn't this be better as a vinyl figure? And they tried it. And it seemed like it was doing okay from 2010 to about 2014-ish, 15. Nobody cared about them. They sat on shelves, collected dust, sat in clearance aisles. And then in 2015, pow, it just went off. The popularity has only been for roughly coming on 3 years now. It feels like a fad. It just does. And if that crashes, they're done. But games like this, it just does not look good. For whatever his reason was for selling it, if he had some business sense in this, he would have held off or he would have sold it in spurts because that just reflects badly on the company from the perspective of someone buying stocks or trading stocks.
Yeah, because other investors, people that are holding the stock, will see it and like, whoa, wait, the owner or the president sold that much?
What does he know?
Yeah, let me get out. So
what does he know about this?
Yeah, and it's insider trading. That's why Martha Stewart went to jail.
Yeah, and that could be what triggered the heavy trading that day too. People saw, wait a minute, who dumped 55,000 shares? The president? Oh no. And that could be why he traded so heavy that day too. He could have triggered that.
Yeah. Well, you'll see over the next few months, I guess.
Yeah, or the next few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Because it's anybody's game. I mean, it's all just speculation. You don't know what's really going to happen until it happens. And you can guess. I mean, people have been waiting for Sears to dig its own grave and bury itself for like the last 4 or 5 years now, while they hover around the $1.20 mark. It's like they're hanging by their nails on a windowsill, and you never know when it's gonna drop. They're not quite at that point yet, although it looked like they might have been when the stock fell to about what, 580 or 581. That's when you should have bought it. I know. That's when you buy it, when it's that low.
Yeah.
But like I said, just speculation, and we're not trying to bust on Funko or people who collect Funko. I mean, we have Funko Pops.
Yeah, we got a ton of them.
Yeah, we collect that stuff too, and we would hate to see them get buried.
Yeah, we like that product.
Yeah, we would hate to see them get buried, but it seems like every time you turn around, they're making these bonehead moves with tons of money. It's a lot of money to be playing around with. They need to be paying their debts off.
No, we don't know if they're not paying it off. So to say that is not right.
Yeah, well, they still owe close to $400 million. I hope they're paying it.
Yeah.
Anyway, any thoughts? You can go ahead and post your thoughts in the comment section down below. Tell us what you think about all that. Where's your mind at? Have you seen any of this? Or have you speculated about it? Like I said, I got a bunch of questions, mostly on Instagram of all places. Hey, what's going on? Well, first I got a whole bunch of, wow, Funko stock's really taking off. What's going on? Then it's, wow, Funko stock tanked. What's going on? Because they lost like 12 points in a few days. You know, or $12 really. Never mind points. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. But like I said, you can look at some of what's been going on and speculate a little bit. And so tell us what you think. Give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. You get where we're coming from. Share and subscribe. Check out some of the other videos. We do a lot more than speculate about Funko. So, anything else?
No.
Nothing else. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.